Hey everybody, welcome back to First Baby Crazy. Woo! Really excited to be doing this video today. I certainly did not have any intention of being away for as long as I was. Well, first, before I even get into all that, I'm actually sitting outside of my patio. My new patio chairs came and we were so excited, so we decided to do the video out here. The lighting is good. It's finally not raining. And so I was like, you know what, let me just do this outside. I don't have to worry about cleaning up a spot just so I can take this video so you all believe my house is clean all the time. So, yes, anyway, I had no intention of being away for as long as I did. When I started First Baby Crazy, it was really important for me to kind of like dial up a blog and, just kind of share the journey with other people and what my experiences are as a first-time mom, and just to journey together. And actually, as I was preparing to just share my journey with the first baby, I was pregnant with my second. Yeah, let that sink in. I was maybe 7 weeks postpartum when I was pregnant with my second baby. Obviously, I did not know that yet. But yeah, it wasn't much of a break in between there. So when they tell you wait those 6 weeks, wait the 6 weeks. Wait even longer. Wait even longer. I'm never having sex again. That's how long I'm waiting. But yeah, so we're no longer first baby crazy. We are two baby crazy and two babies. My first is now one, but two under two is a real thing. So we're gonna keep the name, but we're certainly more than one baby over here. So yeah, I didn't like I said, I didn't plan to be away for so long, but caring for a newborn, it was just a number of things going on. I was caring for a newborn for my first child. It was still in the pandemic. I was pregnant. I was still, postpartum and in my first trimester all at the same time, which is like awful. Um, it was a lot. It was a lot going on. So I didn't get to share as many videos as I'd like to have done. There was a lot I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about my first birthing experience, which was really traumatizing for me. And I was so adamant about never having to go through that again. I was like, oh, I'm never having children again. Because I ended up, I was in a 36-hour labor. I had to be, what did I have? I had the balloon catheter, which was, I Googled, like, did the balloon catheter hurt? And everybody's like, oh, no, it's just a slight discomfort. I know that every time somebody says it's a slight discomfort, that is a lie. It hurts, okay? It was terrible. I hated it. Yeah, I was, once they put that awful thing in there, um, after like 30 hours, I had only dilated maybe about 5 centimeters. So they decided to do a C-section, which at that point I was ready, but still like, oh my God, because I never planned for a C-section. I was just kind of like, I know I'm gonna have my baby naturally, and it just didn't happen that way. So, to know me is to know I was and still am very terrified of the idea of surgery. I had never had any major surgery in my life. I've never broken a bone, like nothing. I don't even like needles. Even though I do have tattoos. But still. So I was still very much like, I am never having another child ever, ever again. And then it's like, oh my God, I'm pregnant again. How they gonna get this thing out now? Is that another surgery? So it was a lot, initially, I'll be honest, how everyone says, like, well, I should say everyone says, doctors say you're more fertile after you have a baby. It's like I heard that and I didn't hear it. I heard it and I just kind of was like, oh, it's not gonna, the things you say, like, oh, that's not gonna happen to me, that's never gonna happen to me. I just didn't think I would get pregnant again. You know what I mean? It was just like, oh, I had my one baby, I'm all right now. I think any time I was still breastfeeding at the time. So it was like, this my body is just not ready. It's just not going to happen. That ain't what happened at all. So, yeah. I wouldn't even think I was pregnant. I was in the grocery store, and see, I got 2 kids now, so my memory is like terrible. You're gonna see a lot of pauses and looks to the side because my brain is just not here yet. My second baby is 7 weeks old, almost 7 weeks old. So we are still very sleep deprived, tired, dehydrated, hungry, and forgetful. Very, very, very forgetful. So do, bear with me as I look to the left and the right and just try to remember what the hell I was talking about in the first place. I got 2 kids. Leave me alone. Right? So, as I was saying, and I think I forgot already. Oh, yes. Why I even thought I was pregnant. I didn't at first. I thought I was sick. And, being in the pandemic, any the slightest symptom of you not feeling well is like, oh shit, that thing done got me. I done got the COVID. But it wasn't that. And I remember talking to a friend of mine and just saying to her, like, oh, I haven't been feeling well. But, I had, when you have a baby, you're recovering, you're still very much trying to get back in tune with who you were and who you are now. So the way that your body used to function don't necessarily function the same way anymore. So it was like, oh, I don't feel well, but like maybe this is a new normal for me. Is like I don't feel well like this now. I was nauseous, I was a little moody, but hell, I just had a baby, so why not? And what else was wrong with me? Just like sicky, like all the normal pregnancy symptoms, but just didn't think it was pregnancy because COVID was still running around. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and I'm just like, there's just no way. There's just like no way I'm pregnant. I bought the pregnancy test, and I took it with her on the phone. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to take it. Like, there's just no way that it's possible. But, it's, I'm just going to take it. I just didn't believe it. Like, I thought it, but I just didn't really. It was just doing it just to rule it out. Right? So I take it or whatever. I hang up from her. I'm like, let me pee. Let me do what I got to do. And I take the test, and it was positive. And I was just kind of like, oh shit, what? Then I thought, okay, the test can't be right. The test is wrong because tests can be wrong, and maybe my hormones are still like kind of in flux because I literally just had a baby yesterday. There's no way I'm pregnant again, right? So I go to the doctor, and I'm kind of like, bro, let's talk about this. So I say to him, like, hey, I took a pregnancy test, and it's saying things that it should not say, but I'm like, maybe, my hormones are like picking up on the old hormones are like picking up on the, on the test, and I just want to be sure before I drive myself crazy about this thing or whatever. And, so we do a pregnancy test in the office, and he goes, you're pregnant. And I'm like, no, that's not possible because I just had a baby, total denial. Like, now I'm telling him, no, I got old pregnancy hormones raging through me. There's no way. There's a new baby here. And he's like, you're pregnant. That's it. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, but how? I'm telling you, that's sex. Don't do it. yeah, so I was like very much in denial about it. I was kind of even scared to kind of share it with my partner because we were still kind of. My first baby was great. You know, he slept like right off the gate. He wasn't like a stay up all nighter and keep us up. You know, we'd feed him, he'd go down. We change his diaper, he'd stay asleep. You know, he was all right, but you know, we were still just still trying to find our groove together with this new person in the house. And you know, we certainly weren't ready to have another baby just yet. You know, the idea of it was even like straight, you know, it's just something we weren't prepared for, obviously. So I was kind of scared to even share the news. Like, I don't know what he was gonna say. I didn't even know what to say yet. You know, I didn't even know how to feel about it yet. So I kind of kept it to myself for a little while. And then, how how we do, we just kind of tease like, so what would you do? Like, what if we had another baby? What would you think? And just kind of teasing it out there like that. And he was just kind of like, whatever, you know how men are. So I'm like, okay. So I like think I'm pregnant. And he's like, no, you're not. It's fine. Yeah, you're not. Like doing what I was doing, like wishing it away, right? Like, no, you're not, right? And very much I was. I'm like, but we are, like, gonna have another baby. And he was really okay about it. You know, he really was. It was me that was kind of like unsure of what I really wanted and unsure of what I really wanted to do, because it was just like, there's just, how do I do this? I immediately called my mom and like had a face to face with her and was like, girl, we gotta talk. And I'm just like, I'm pregnant again. And she was just so calm. She was like, oh, okay, well, there's just 2 babies for me to play with. Mind you, she has 3 children, so I guess it's not a shock to her. But I was still very much like, no one understands I just had a baby yesterday, and now, what? So, it was me that was the most shocked. Everyone else seemed to be pretty adjusted to the idea. Ooh, damn it, I can't my thing. Pretty adjusted to the idea fairly easily. But I wasn't, because I know what my body had just gone through, and then the idea of putting it through this trauma again was not something that I wanted to do. But yeah, we did get through it. It was not easy to be postpartum and pregnant at the same time. Hella moody, extremely emotional, and working from home full time while taking care of that baby, right? Like, what was I thinking? If I'm not overwhelmed, I'm just not doing anything. Just like now, I have the 2 children. They're both under 2 years old. I'm planning to go back to work from home. My husband and I are working on our side hustle, and I'm trying to prepare for a wedding next year. Like, if I'm not overwhelmed, I'm not doing anything. I just don't know when to say when. But yeah, it's just what you do, right? So now I forgot where I was again. You see, pregnancy, don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it. What was I even saying? Oh yeah, but just adjusting, taking care of the baby while working, managing things at home, got to be like really crazy for me at times, because my body was just really tired, and like tired in a new way. I know I came back to work from maternity leave like the most bitchiest woman ever. Like, nobody liked me, and that was totally fine, because it was like, look, I'm tired as a mofo, so we're not gonna even pretend, right? If this is wrong, then this is wrong, and we're gonna make it right, and we're not gonna do it a whole bunch of times. We're gonna do it this one other time, and then that's it. It was very like straight, because I had nothing else to give. It was just like my body was under pressure, and I felt under pressure and just extremely tired. Even with the second pregnancy, it was not as easy as the first. Now, my first pregnancy with my son was like a breeze. You know, I could have been pregnant forever. I was pregnant for like 40, I went the whole 40 weeks, an extra 4 days, and was, you know, he was great. My second, it was a terrible pregnancy. I did have a little girl. She is beautiful. I'll try to drop in a photo here if I get a chance, or if I even know how to do that. But yeah, the pregnancy was rough from the jump. Like, first trimester all the way down. When I thought things were going to get better, like once I hit that 20-week mark, I went through gestational hypertension. I went through gestational diabetes. The baby had to be born early. It was just a lot. It was really, 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 really probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do, all while taking care of this new baby I just had. You know, it was really hard, and those are things that I will discuss going forward. You know, how I got through gestational diabetes, thankfully, without insulin, and share some tips on that. I'll share some tips on gestational hypertension, even though it was just kind of like, watch your salt and calm the hell down, and take your baby aspirin and listen to your doctors. But you know, I'll share some tips on those things and how I survived those and how I'll survive the two of them now. I can tell you right now, I'm exhausted. I hope I don't look it. But you know, just mommies sharing with other mommies about what that experience is like. Or for anyone who is thinking of having another baby back to back, more power to you. I certainly wouldn't tell anyone not to do it. It's just, you know, things you would need to be prepared for. So we're still very much first baby crazy over here, but now there's two babies for us to be crazy about. It is going to be quite the ride, I think. So, you know, I'm definitely back and definitely want to stay on top of my YouTube page and share some videos and experiences and the things that's gone on. But that's what has been going on for so long, and that's why I've kind of been absent. But I appreciate all the comments and the likes and the things that, you know, you guys that have still come to the page and like things and view things, you know. It made me want to get back to it, you know, because it's like, oh, somebody really liked my video, or really liked my advice, or something was really helpful. You know, I like that. You know, there's a part of me that really wants to, where I live, there's a lot of young moms. I really want to start a mommy group, because I think the advice between mothers is invaluable. You know, there's something that you know that I don't know, and instead of me having to struggle and figure it out, we can share that information together. So I really like that. I really like just having that moment between, you know, from one mommy to another, like, hey, you know, like, we're having an issue getting our 1-year-old to eat. He does not like food. I don't know how he could be my child, because look at me, I love food. I love food. I love to eat. This kid doesn't like food at all. Like, he's not interested ever. So he's having a little bit of an issue gaining weight, and you know, that's something I would be, you know, looking for advice for. You know, doctors tell you things, but like, they don't know. They're not doing it. They're not experiencing it on a day-to-day basis. They're at work. You know, their wives are doing it. You know, or maybe don't even have kids. So that's something that's really important to me. So I really like that. So thank you for all those who did come and, you know, keep me motivated and keep me going, to come back and do another video. So, you know, thanks so much for sticking by me. I'm going to end right here and post up something probably later on today if I get the opportunity. My kids are napping right now, and this is bliss. I'm going to try to close my eyes for 10 seconds and maybe get back to it. But I don't know. Pray for me. So, yes, I will see you soon, and thanks so much for watching.